Hello, I'm Ethan Chase, and a New York City-based business growth coach. I advise organizations how to build great places to work and how to unleash their people's untapped potential. But today, my friends, I want to talk about Project 2025. I am constantly amazed, disappointed, at the number of business people who are choosing not to talk about what Trump's second administration has been doing since he came into office in January to follow this 900-page treatise developed by the right wing and the Heritage Foundations. Today, we're going to talk about Project 2025, what's called the Mandate for Leadership, the Conservative Promise, the 900-page right-wing ideological blueprint that's being implemented. So let's go right into the heart of it. What is the impact in terms of business? Mostly in terms of impact to small to mid-sized businesses, as the Bureau of Labor Statistics says, any business with 500 or fewer employees. So let's talk about the impact of Project 2025 in regards to its isolationist worldview. So the framework under which this project, this treaty, has been developed, going back to the 1980s, in fact, is that the entire mindset of the right wing universe is to create limitations on businesses being able to effectively facilitate the importing and exporting of goods. The parameters of this isolationist worldview creates unnecessarily a trade war, which has from their perspective, the desired consequence of alienating our historical trading partners. But it also creates supply chain issues, and it limits opportunities for those of you in businesses who are looking to expand outside the US market. This document, this 920-page document called Project 2025, was worked on by 350 people. Donald Trump, during the election, you may recall, claimed that he had no idea about it, and yet he knows 60% of the people who worked on the project. He was friends with the Heritage Foundation president, Kevin Roberts. So what are some of the policy directives that are being advocated for and that the current Trump administration is driving towards fulfillment of at the negative impact on businesses and people in this country? It serves to disband the Gender Policy Council. It eliminates all DE&I programs in the federal government, and any initiative that's focused on diversity, equity, inclusion, gender equity, gender awareness, abortion, reproductive health, reproductive rights. So it's taking away all those rights from people. It's removing sexual orientation and gender identity from every rule and every regulation that's issued by the federal government. They are transforming the FBI into a politically motivated entity to be used by President Trump to go after his perceived enemies. That's what this administration is about. Other than making profit for Donald J. Trump, it's about a vindictive tour of retribution. Oh, abolish the Department of Education. Deny any existence of trans people. Remove health care options for abortion. End public service loan forgiveness program, relax restrictions on child labor, weaken the Department of Justice Civil Rights Division, and wear away civil services that were currently or previously protected in America by allowing or increasing this president's appointments, cronyism, nepotism, his buddies, his financial backers, to appointments within the IRS, the Federal Communications Commission, the Food and Drug Administration, the DEA, the FBI, the EPA, It's an opportunity for him to plant all of his friends and all of his funders into these roles of civil organizations. So, as I said, this blueprint, this right-wing ideological blueprint, has been worked on by the Heritage Foundation for decades. And they are using this, Trump and his administration and the people that he surrounded himself with, to implement this 900 page treatise on setting America backwards. So let's take a little look at what the implications are from a business perspective of Project 2025. So it is an extreme threat to the strength and stability of the American workforce and the American economy. I'm taking this from Democracy Forward. That's the source. Project 2025 threatens every one of us who wants, needs, desires a thriving, robust economy in which to conduct business. It's stripping away protections of our retirement investments, our children's college funds, and the ability for us to even afford the most basic necessities, medications, groceries. Talk about dining table conversations. That's what we need to talk about. Project 2025 attacks the core tenets of our democracy. This is why last Saturday, 7+ million Americans conducted marches in over 1,600 march locations across the United States and globally. And I did not see almost any business support. I saw 3 companies come out with public statements: Costco, REI, and Ben & Jerry's. That's it. Where is the business support and guardrails and pushing back? I don't know. I mean, you certainly are not going to hear it from the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. The backsliding of our democracy has harmful consequences for people and communities. But if you can't even think about, as a business person speaking out for that reason, Project 2025 is incredibly damaging to business. It's incredibly bad. Globally, there's a strong correlation between economies that support human rights and democracy and conditions that are more favorable for business to innovate, thrive, and flourish. We're not there right now. In fact, we are losing our very democracy. So where is business? Okay. So what is Project 2025 doing as far as harmful impact to American business and industry? It's the destruction of immigration, which leaves critical sectors like farming and construction without enough employees to work on projects. It weakens innovation and the American workforce by gutting public education. The mandate for leadership, the conservative promise, is de facto doing away with the Department of Education. Let's just get rid of the formal body that oversees and provides strategic direction on the future of education in America. We are now going to experience an incredibly challenged environment in which to recruit a diverse workforce. I've taught in 10 colleges and universities. I have international students here in New York City, and they have been front row and center to what's being done in America. My students have been stopped by TSA agents over the summer when they were returning from holiday to visit their families, to come back to the United States to study here and potentially make a life for themselves here. They've been stopped by TSA agents in airports and herded into rooms. These young people, their phones are taken away, and they're left to wonder, what is going to happen to me? You think those are the kinds of people who are going to want to contribute to our society in the future? So greater diversity and inclusion in the workforce is always better for business. So are anti-discrimination protections. Project 2025 hinders businesses' ability to seek out a diverse workforce. How the hell can you have a diverse workforce when you have ICE agents coming into businesses and literally grabbing your employees, putting them in unmarked white vans, these hooded these masked vigilantes, ICE agents, who are taking, and quite a few of them are American citizens, out of businesses and putting them in detention centers. This is not America. It's just not. Also, everything that Trump is doing for the personal benefit of Trump and his billionaire friends at the exclusion of everybody else threatens our monetary stability. Keeping prices stable and inflation rates low preserves the value of money over time. You know this. I know this. Project 2025's initiatives, I'm not going to say proposals anymore because we've had a year of them being put to practice. We see trade wars and tariffs and the rising price of imports. We see prices going up. We see the economy struggling. Are we at recession? Where are we? We see the labor market struggling. We see people being unemployed, hundreds of thousands of people being laid off from the federal government. We see now a government freeze where the government is not doing anything and hasn't for the last 3 weeks. Some people would say, oh, that's a good. That's not good. That's not good. We see trade being restricted, the increase in pricing of goods, limits to foreign investment, the notion of American exceptionalism under Project 2025 is a mandate for isolationism, protectionism, and it's not how we do business in the 21st century global marketplace. That does not happen. So I want to go to Democracy Forward and just share with you some thought process around this. Project 2025 is on the ballot this fall. The Heritage Foundation's 900-page playbook consists of detailed plans that an anti-democratic president not could, has been putting into effect this entire first year in office. So this was written by Democracy Forward back in September of last year. Okay. As a senior fellow at the Carnegie Endowment for Peace told the New York Times, the business community here doesn't understand what is about to hit them. It has hit us. We've been hit by it for going on a year now. What is your response, business owner, founder, entrepreneur, startup leader in your organization? Remaining quiet is not an option. Those who do it at your peril, your employees' peril, your family, your children, your grandchildren. Where are you? I have been almost daily posting things on LinkedIn, and the echo chamber is silent. Not anymore. You need to speak up and act up. So I've shared this with you. This Heritage Foundation mandate for leadership. Mandate for leadership, the conservative promise. Forward by Kevin Roberts, Dr. Kevin Roberts, president of the Heritage Foundation and Trump's good buddy. This is what is being implemented across the United States. And the impacts are eroding our democracy. And my question is, what are you doing as a business owner to speak up, speak out, have your voice heard? There are midterm elections, gubernatorial elections in Virginia and in New Jersey. They are mayoral elections. Here in New York City, we have an important one. But all over the country, we're seeing the result of this Project 2025 put into action by Trump and his enablers. It is anti-American, it's anti-democratic, it's anti-business. So, what are you doing? If you like this video, or even if you didn't like what I said, but you found it thought-provoking, please hit the like button. Also, I've got over 670 videos on my YouTube channel that talks about other strategies for creating great workplace culture, for unleashing your people's untapped potential. Be sure to check out the playlists, CEO Corner, SMB Corner. I have a lot of playlists, and also my podcast playlist for the first 3 seasons and 50 episodes. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much. Good luck. And please remember, to conduct business in a pro-business democratic climate, we need you as business people, leaders, founders. We need you to not only speak up, but to become active. Our democracy is in the balance. Thank you.